Welcome to the End of Money podcast for Thursday, October 26th. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting. We'll take a look at the late pick four on the Thursday card. No stakes race until Saturday for this final week. So let's start in the 6th with the first leg of the pick four, and it's 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. Jim, how do you see it?
Yeah, I like the maiden special weights in the first leg of the pick four. Ben put this in there so you can see where the horses that may get a little play, but everybody's raced here except the 1 and the 2. So I think there is some form that you can bank on here, and I didn't go very deep in the pick four. I thought it was a 2-horse race from the numbers, and High North on the outside for Brad Cox and Corey Lannery is an obvious choice. Caught a little bit of off track at Belmont last time out, but still ran a 71 buyer and finished second, although got beat by 5 1/4 lengths. The other horse that I liked in here was the obvious Shug McGahee Victory Lane, who has a race over the track on October 7th, comes back with a little over 2 weeks rest and gets a second race over the track, which is a very important angle here at Keeneland. Got beat by Tis Mischief last out, which is a nice win for that horse, and this horse ran well, 73 buyer, moved up from 65 to 73. Nobody else in here has run that well, and unless one of the starters, I think I said the 2 has not run. The 2 has run, not a very good race. The 1 is the first-time starter for Brandon Walsh. You might throw that horse in there in the pick four, but I think you're pretty safe going with High North and Victory Lane, just boxing those 2 in the exacta.
I could not get as high on High North because of the post position, and so I ended up looking around trying to find some value, and I came to the 7-horse who beat 7 out of 12 in his debut. The pedigree says he should love the stretch out, and he took some money in the debut, so I'm going to try the 7, enjoy the journey in here, and I will go deeper. I like Victory Lane. I like Ride a Comet, number 9. Cove Blue, the 10, which is a little farther outside than I'd like to go, and High North even farther out. So those are the ones that I looked at, but Enjoy the Journey was the win pick for me in here. In the 7th race, you're on the turf course, and Kasaki, I think, probably has a class edge, but that last race kind of scared me off a little bit. He was a low price and didn't really run great, so I was trying to look elsewhere, and I found Sir Dudley Diggs caught my eye because he's won here, and he's got 3 wins this year. His third start off a layoff. So I'm going to take Sir Dudley Diggs in here. Kasaki you got to use. The next one I like is One Go, All Go. After that, within the race, you might look at Thatcher Street or Dragon Bay, but I think I'll probably go just 3 deep in the pick four here. How about you?
I like Sir Dudley Diggs as well, and I like the horses coming out of a race at Kentucky Downs. This horse came back out of the Old Friends down there and went to Belmont and didn't run very well. Went a grade 2 and maybe just over his head. I don't know what happened up there, but if you draw a line through that, he's been so consistent. And Mount 8 is not his best distance. He's 1 for 2 at this distance, but probably might be a little better going short. But I still like him on top here. But I'd also use Kasaki the 5 just because of back class. I mean, he won the Wise Dan with a 103 buyer back in June. So, and he's run well here at Keeneland with a 102 buyer in the Shadwell. So those 2, not much to separate them. And I'd also throw in Thatcher Street coming out of the same race as Sir Dudley Diggs, only ran ahead behind him. So that would be my 3 that I go in there. And I would probably do a trifecta wheel with 4-5 on top with 4-5-8, and then throw in as many as you can afford below them.
The allowance feature, the 8th race, is for filly and mare sprinters. It's non-winners of 2 lifetime allowance. And who did you come up with here?
Well, again, I'm cutting it down to about 3. I'm only going deep in the last leg here when we get to the 9th race. Caroline Test intrigued me a little bit here, the 3-horse. Got a lot of early speed and cuts back to 6 furlongs and ran the Alcibiades here last year and led them to the top of the stretch before giving it up. And I think the last race she just was checked hard at the top of the stretch at Kentucky Downs and was in the lead there. So I think she's the speed here, and I think she's going to get the lead. Whether she can take them wire to wire, I'm not sure. Covenant, the 5-horse, opening up her career at Gulfstream Park and lost to Salty, and then came back and won her second race by 6 3/4. Came back from Dogwood, didn't run very well at Churchill at 3-1, but maybe she didn't like Churchill. Maybe she needed the race after a couple months layoff. I think she's going to be run big in here for Laurent Giroux. And then the 12 horse, seems like I'm going outside today, but Golden Domer intrigues me a little bit. Caught a couple of sloppy tracks last time out. It won on a sloppy track at Churchill. So Brandon Walsh and Corey Lannery hooking up with the 12. Those are the three I'm going to use in the pick four, and I would use Caroline Test and Covenant as exacta wheels.
I like Caroline Test too. This is the second start off a long layoff for her, and Asmussen hits at 23% on the turf to dirt move. And so it brings this horse back off a layoff at Kentucky Downs. And it's a course to build fitness. You can get a lot of stamina out of races there. It just has the classic look of a prep race to get her ready to fire in this spot. So I think Caroline Test I like in here. Covenant, the 9 Miss Kentucky, the 8 Verna Lee, the 14 Char Ran were the other ones that I liked, but Caroline Test will definitely be a key horse in exactas for me. The 9th race, I did not have a strong opinion on anybody. The more I looked at it, the more I thought Charlie DePresti has a good shot to win this with horses coming out of Kentucky Downs races. Those horses have done awfully well here at this meet, and he's got 2 of them, the 6 and the 9. So I would just say you could play both of those to win, or use both of them in an exacta box with as many as the others that you like. But the 6, I don't know if it's Gustus Be Here, and the 9 American Sea. They'll try those 2. The 5 Kaliningrad, the 7 Drake's Channel, the 11 Was Up Chuck were the next 3 in order of preference that I liked. So as many of those as you want to include in an exacta box for the race. But I'm going to go with Charlie LePresti to get one of his 2 to the winner's circle in the 9th. How about you?
Yeah, I think I went deep here. I've got 6 deep and could go more than that because I just don't think there's a standout. I do believe there's an entry in here, Tom, so that the numbers are different because Broomhill and What's Up Chuck are entered as a 1 and 1A.
That's right. You're right.
So the horses that you named are, I'll give the numbers that I've got. The 2 Monet Mo Problems for George Weaver. I'm going to use the 4 Lowe's Journey. I'm going to use the 6 Kaliningrad for Veschenko, who got a win here last week. The 7 Guts to Be Here, if that's what I have no idea how to pronounce that horse. The 9 Kitten Silver, and the 10 American Sea. So I'm gonna go 6 deep here. Win pick might be the Veschenko horse. They thought enough of him to put him in a couple of stakes races as a maiden and didn't disgrace himself, and he's been very consistent. So he comes up with some tough horses every once in a while. So I would play him on top, not with any confidence. So I would go 6 deep in the pick 4.
All right, let's go to our pick 4 tickets. I'm going to go 4 deep in the first leg, 7, 8, 9, 10. Second leg, Sir Dudley Diggs, Cacique, and I'm going to add 1 go, all go. So I'll go 4, 5, 7 there. I'm going to take 5 in the third leg, 3, 9, 5, 8, and 14, and then just 7 and 10, the 2 LePrestis in the last leg. So 4 by 3, by 5, by 2. How about you?
I am going 8-12 in the first leg, Victory Lane and High North, by 3, 4, 5, 8 with Cacique, Sir Dudley Diggs, and Thatcher Street. And then in the third leg, I'm going 3, 5, 12, which is Caroline Test, my top choice, Covenant, the 5, and Golden Domer, the 12, and then 6 deep in the last leg with 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. That's Monet Mo Problems, Lowe's Journey, Kaliningrad, Guts to Be Here, Kitten Silver, and American Sea. So I am 2 by 3 by 3 by 6 for $54.
Best of luck with your Thursday wagers, and we'll be back for the Friday card on the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.